بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أهلا وسهلا بكم مشاهدينا الكرام مع حلقة جديدة من برنامجكم على تماس. في حلقة اليوم نستضيف شخصية رياضية مهمة على مستوى القارة الآسيوية، يعمل في مجال الإدارة الرياضية منذ أكثر من 30 سنة، وعمل في الاتحاد الدولي لكرة القدم والاتحاد الآسيوي لكرة القدم لقرابة 20 عام، ومنذ 9 سنوات تولى مهمة منصب الأمين العام بالاتحاد الآسيوي لكرة القدم. باسمكم جميعا يسعدني الترحيب بداتوك 3 الأمين العام للاتحاد الآسيوي لكرة القدم. داتوك 3, we would like to welcome you on Oman Sport TV, and it's our pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you very much for having me on your television show.
Thank you. And first of all, let's start with the Asian Cup 2019. It was in UAE. The World Cup 2022 was in Doha. Now this edition 2023 in Doha as well. 2027 will be in Saudi Arabia. So we can see that most of the major tournaments are held in West Asia. What does that mean?
For us, we know that football is the #1 sport in the Middle East, in West Asia, and because of the passion that we have in the region, it's natural that our members in the region always bid to host big events. And I would say that it's also because of the support that our members have from their governments to bid for big football events. And for us at the AFC, it's always good to have many member associations wanting to host our big competitions. And we are also quite fortunate that in the West Asian countries, there are a lot of good facilities provided for big events, such as stadiums and training fields, infrastructure, hotels, airports, connectivities, and so on. So naturally, it becomes a good hub for the AFC to organize the competitions here. But I have to remind you that they have to bid for these competitions, and they have to go through the process of selection through our committees and the executive committee as well. So there is a mechanism involved in selection. Even though countries are strong, have strong bids, they still have to go through the selection process.
Great. Let's talk about 2023 Asian Cup, semi-automated offside technology and full implementation of VAR. Let's say the most important points you have noticed in this edition. What can you say about that?
I mean, the game is evolving a lot. You know, we are embracing technology. The fans are demanding that the matches are fairly judged, and we always believe that winning or losing must depend on the performance on the pitch and nothing else. And that's why technology such as VAR and semi-automatic offside technology are important to support our match officials to arrive at the right decisions. We all want the right decisions. We want goals that are legitimate to be goals, and goals that are not proper goals to not be allowed. So I believe it's a very good way forward. We have introduced VAR from the first match. If you remember, VAR was only in the knockout stages in 2019. So we have started for all 51 matches having VAR, and semi-automated technology is also the first confederation to use after the World Cup. So we are proud of this introduction. We are also satisfied that this technology is helping our match officials.
Great. Now, since you have mentioned 2019, the Asian Cup, I mean the increasement of teams to reach 24 teams in the competition, and definitely in this one as well. That increasement, I mean, has it added a value to the competition? I mean, once you have decided to make this decision, I believe you had some goals you wanted to achieve. Did you achieve them?
Yes, when we introduced 24 teams for the Asian Cup, I think there were a couple of considerations. Okay. The first one would be that we have seen the gap between the teams getting closer. When you look at the World Cup qualifiers, we look at Asian Cup qualifiers, we see that the gap is getting closer. And therefore, it's only right that we include more teams because they are ready. They are working hard. Number two, we also realize that only through competitions, the members can develop football in their country. There's more investment. You just imagine all the teams that are coming for the Asian Cup for the first time or second time. They would have received a lot of support by their government, by their fans, stakeholders in their own country because they're coming to play in the Asian Cup. And that helps develop football in their own country as well. So the development part is also important. And I believe the third reason is also to grow the market. You see, one of the biggest, one of the vision of the AFC president is to make football the #1 sport in Asia, meaning to grow the game. And therefore it was important to increase the number, to grow the game, to go to new markets, not only to grow the fan base, but also to grow commercial opportunities as well. So we are very satisfied with the growth of the number of teams. We are very satisfied to see the gap between the countries are getting closer. We see the scores in this tournament so far has been very close. And overall, yes, we can say we have achieved the goal for the increase that we made.
Is there any plans to increase them more in the coming years? Or
I think any plan would only be decided or looked into after a thorough technical report presented by our technicians to the technical committee. Increasing the number of slots is important, but maintaining the quality is also something that we want to manage as well. Why not increase? FIFA is also increased, but FIFA has 211 members. We will look into it when the time comes. But at the moment, because it's only the second edition, we are satisfied with these 24 teams.
Great. Now let's go to AFC competition media right, Datuk Sri. I mean, what are the standards needed in order to get them, to have them?
I think for media rights, for example, we are looking at, of course, the broadcasters' ability to produce our matches at the level that we are expecting. For example, if you take World Cup qualifiers, you take Asian Cup qualifiers, you take the Asian Cup, we would, of course, would like to partner with broadcasters who are able to add value to our product. Probably the first one. Number two, I think we believe that when it comes to commercial broadcasting, we want to optimize the value of our products. We want to take it to new markets as well. And for the Asian Cup, for example, we have 160 countries that will have direct broadcast into their own country through broadcasters. And for the rest of the countries, we will be showing the fans through our AFC YouTube channels. But going back to your questions, what are the criterias? I think the first would be that the partner would want to work with the AFC to produce and broadcast our competitions.
But let's be more clear. Money as well, I think, will play a great role on.
Of course, I mean, without money we cannot develop football. Of course, all our broadcast partners have put in good value for money to buy the rights.
To buy the rights.
No, it's not only about showing the football matches live, but it's also the other shows around the match. Because football is an experience now. It's no more 90 minutes.
It is.
It's more than 90 minutes. It is pre-match, after match, during the match. Are broadcasters able to do more than just show the 90 minutes?
Yeah, but Datuk Sri, we noticed previously some issues, I mean, regarding this point, especially. Some channels, they have given the rights in their country zone only through some applications, and some other countries, they couldn't, follow their teams in Asian competitions, and that causes actually a challenge and a problem for them. Every country, the people there want to see their national teams, their clubs. So couldn't you find a solution so that all the competitions can reach every country I mean, you have just mentioned Sheikh Salman, what he said, that he wants the football to reach, I mean, all countries, to be the #1 sport in Asia.
Very good question. In fact, for 2021 season, 2022, 23, 24, we broke the rights and give to all the countries.
Okay.
But the countries didn't take it. You see, to produce, the broadcasters need to spend money, need to invest.
Yeah.
So we only ended up with Saudi Arabia, we ended up with UAE, we ended up with Iraq buying the rights to produce. All the other countries couldn't.
Why? Because of the price? Or
because of the price, because of the demands of the broadcasting standards. And this it's not fair to say that AFC did not offer. We offered to all individual countries rights to buy, the opportunity to buy the rights for this first cycle from 21 to 24.
Only four who
Only four who bought the rights, and that's why we see that we have Saudi Arabia, Iraq bought their own rights, UAE bought their rights, and Iran as well. So all the rest could not buy the rights, did not buy the rights.
Were they very expensive?
You see, expensive depends on the territories. We call it territories. For example, if a country, we know the value of this country.
Sorry for interrupting you. Can we mention numbers? I mean,
no, we are not able to provide the numbers. We don't want to devalue the product, but every country has a value because we have sold that before. You know, so when we sell before, so every country has a value, and this value will be presented to the broadcaster in that country.
Moving to club competitions, I mean, do you see the establishment of the AFC Champions League Elite, ASL 2 and the Challenge League as a game changer in Asian football?
Yes, I think this was what was the desire of the AFC president, to ensure that our competitions are very competitive. The word competitive meaning that it will attract fans, it will attract investors as well. As you know, our club competitions have always been 2 tiers, Champions League and the AFC Cup. But with the change now, with the AFC Champions League Elite, which has 24 teams from 12 countries, and the AFC Champions League 2, which has got 32 clubs, and Challenge League, which has got 20 clubs. We believe that these 3 categories, the 3 tiers of competition, will raise the level of competitiveness among the clubs. As you know, one of our vision is also to become to have our teams perform very well in the world stage. And through the club competitions, we send our representatives to the Club World Cup. And in the next Club World Cup, we'll be having 4 representatives. And these 4 teams that come from Asia need to challenge the top clubs in the world. And we need to prepare them. And we hope through the Champions League Elite, we'll be able to produce the top 4 clubs to proudly represent Asia. And this is one of the reasons that we split into 3 tiers.
Some are saying that AFC Cup previously wasn't on that high level. Now, making 3 categories, 3 tiers in Asia, don't you think from the other side it may affect the competitions negatively, maybe, especially the Challenge Cup? It may not have that level of football we looking for.
If you want to talk about the level of football, what about the level of facilities? Some of these countries do not even have a stadium.
So
we need to cater for them. So we need to organize a tournament where we need to centralize these competitions because they cannot afford to play home and away. They don't have enough money to play home and away.
Okay.
They have to play in a centralized zone. This is inclusivity. We cannot say that because you don't have money, you don't have a stadium, you don't play. We cannot do that.
Great.
We need to find solution for them. And that's why these 20 countries, we need to build them up so that they at one time can become into the Champions League. But at the moment, they don't have flight connectivity, they don't have stadiums that fills the level of football, they don't have broadcasting facilities.
Great.
So we need to cater for them as well. We need to slowly build them up, help them through a competition so that they can then slowly go into the Champions League.
So you mean that you want most of the countries in Asia to be involved in your competitions?
Absolutely, because as I said, competitions drive development. No competitions, no development. And players are being developed and trained by clubs to play in a competition.
Clear.
So we need to have these club competitions.
Clear.
And I want to say very clearly that these 20 clubs that are playing in this Champions League, they will in the Challenge League, they will be playing in a centralized format purely because they are not financially well off. Number one, the stadiums do not conform to the standards, not only for playing, security, safety, broadcasting. So that is the reason why we have this. So it's wrong to say that it will bring down the value. No, I believe that we need to support them so they become better. They have more investment from the government, more investment from the sponsor because their club is playing, and then they slowly can move up to the ACL 2.
Clear. Okay, since we are talking about this point, hosting the matches, I mean, we have noticed in some competitions like the Champions League and other competitions, you are very, I mean, let's say sharp on having all standards available in the matches during hosting any match in some countries. And in other countries, let's say, or in other stadiums, we can see that, for example, the grass is not in perfect condition, let's say the lighting is not in perfect condition, but they can play. In other countries, no. If those standards are not matched, the matches won't be played. So can you clarify this point for us, please?
Absolutely right, in the sense that that is the reason why that we have created the Champions League Elite, so that we start with 24 clubs, 12 countries, work on them to make that all these will have the top quality production, matches, facilities, and so on. And then we move to the rest to make sure that they themselves then have this. So it is an investment that is being needs to be put by governments, investment from private entities like sponsors and so on. So I think overall there is a lot of work that needs to be done. I agree that some of the pitches are not of quality. I agree that we need to improve on
but why?
On the lightings.
Why, Datook, sorry for interrupting you. In some countries you refuse playing matches if the standards are not
I don't think so. I don't think so. If you got to tell me which country, which match,
I don't want to
there could be other reasons. There could be safety, security reasons, maybe. Not only the pitch. You see, safety, security is probably the #1 reason that we may not play a match. For example, we had a situation before, the Champions League that didn't play, not because the pitch was not good, but because of safety and security reasons, violating the regulations of safety and security. So there may be many reasons a match is not played. It's not necessary to be lights and the pitch. So many other reasons.
Great. Now let's go to referees. Okay. Maybe one of the most important questions for the World Cup. How is the process nominating referees to the World Cup?
First of all, the member associations nominate the referees.
Okay.
Referees come from member association. They send the names to FIFA. FIFA has allocated through the confederation the number of slots of referees for each countries based on their development of referees in the country.
Great.
Okay. Reports that are presented, what is your selection in your countries, education programs of referees, licensing programs, and so on. And then a number is allocated for each countries depending on the development of referees. And then we bring the referees for training at the AFC. We appoint them for all our matches, Champions League, AFC Cup, qualifiers, youth tournaments, and every referee is evaluated with marks. And then slowly, then we choose the best referees and put them in what we call the elite pool. And from this elite pool, FIFA will then monitor and select match referees for the World Cup.
FIFA will choose.
FIFA. Nowadays, it's FIFA who chooses the referees.
Previously, how was it going on?
I wouldn't say previously. It was a decision by both FIFA and the Confederation, because we have to provide the information, the marks, everything we have to provide to FIFA. And then FIFA will have to say, okay, Asia, you will have 5 slots. So who are your 5 referees? So these are the referees that are ranked.
Great.
But now, FIFA are evaluating the referees directly.
All right.
For example, we have one expert who is watching the referees of another confederation.
All right.
So we have another confederation referee, let's say from Europe, watching all our referees.
Okay, let me be more clear, and let's talk frankly. Some said previously, choosing a referee, okay, will first of all depend on how good he is, definitely. But then I mean, depends as well how powerful is the association, maybe of that referee. How is the situation of that association and AFC? Is it true? I mean, will that play a role?
We had an assistant referee from Maldives in the World Cup. Is Maldives a powerful country? Tell me.
No, I can't talk about countries.
No. You just say that it's about powerful countries.
No, I'm just telling you that some said that in media.
No, I don't think so. I think if somebody wants to check the referee's reports, the marks and everything, how the mechanism that is selected, and also there's not one person who is selecting, is a referees committee made up of 12, 13, 14 different countries that are selecting the referees for the World Cup, or the elite panel itself.
Great.
So it is not done in the AFC office in Kuala Lumpur. No, it is done by the committees. They evaluate and they then decide, okay, this is the number of referees, these are the names that will be put in the elite, that will be presented to FIFA, and they then do the selection based on the performance of the referees. So yes, we will always hear that there is some sort of biasness or some sort of selection, but I can tell you that those who work hard, those who produce good referees will always have their referees in the elite pool. You know?
Right.
And more and more now FIFA is taking over the appointment of referees.
Great. We just wanted to clarify this point for the fans, you know.
Absolutely.
Good. Now, how would you describe the progress of Asian football in general so far?
I would say that it's going in the right track since Sheikh Salman took over in 2013. We have a clear vision from 2016 to be the leading confederation, to have our teams perform well in the world stage, and also to football to become the #1 sport. And in the last years, through his leadership, we have provided support, financial support, we have provided development programs, raised the profile of our competitions now. If you look at the Asian Cup 2023, it's played at a very high level in terms of organization, in terms of the broadcast production, in terms of the facilities of the field. I mean, players are playing at World Cup stadiums. And not only the 6 teams that played in the World Cup, we had another 18 teams that didn't play in the World Cup are now playing in the World Cup stadiums, experiencing top quality facilities, top quality medical facilities, safety and security facilities within the country, and all other related facilities. For example, very good working environment for the media, for television. I think this is the level that we are looking for, and it will continue to improve for the future.
Great.
So in terms of the progress, I believe that the progress can be seen in the last World Cup, where we had 3 teams in the knockout stages, and they played very well and lost very, very closely to top teams in the world. That is progress, because whatever we do, it has to be reflected on the field, not outside the field. And that's what we are pushing our members to even improve further their performance on the field.
Do you think an Asian team can win the World Cup?
I hope they can win the World Cup. I hope some of our top countries have that vision to win the World Cup. We have come close, you know, in the 2002 World Cup, where we had a team in the semi-final. And I believe that it will not be impossible for a team to, but we need to continue to work, we need to improve further, we need to invest more in the game, and I believe that it's not impossible for an Asian team to do well at the World Cup.
Where do you see Asian football in 10 years' time?
We can only become better, we can only improve. The last 10 years, if we look at the last 10 years, there was no stability in Asia, there was no unity in Asia. Now it's very clear, there is a lot of stability. Our competitions are organized without any disruption except for COVID. Other than that, you will know that Champions League will go on, national team competitions will go on. It is organized and improving at a very high level. Our players are getting better now. We have more players who are playing in some of the top leagues in Europe as well. As you can see, some Asian players, more and more players are being selected to play in top clubs. These are all improvements.
Great.
Our referees also have improved. Some of our referees have refereed final of world events, FIFA events, Olympics as well. The future is very, very bright for Asia. As we see, we can see a lot of investment. The next World Cup 2030 is also in Asia. The last World Cup was in Asia. The Women's World Cup was in Australia, which is Asia. Under 17 World Cup was in Indonesia, Asia. Beach soccer is in February, also in Asia, in UAE. Futsal is also in Asia, in Uzbekistan. Future is very bright for Asia.
Great.
FIFA loves to organize events in Asia because we are very, very good in organizing. We are very good hosts as well. And we have the facilities, we have the support of governments in Asia. And it's only going to get better for Asia and Asian football.
Great, and we wish all the best for
Thank you
Asian
very
football in the coming years. And we believe that you can do it with your team, with Sheikh Salman as well. Datuk Sri, AFC General Secretary, it was a pleasure having you with us today. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you to the media as well for supporting us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.